That was only about half trigger. That was 100. All right, welcome back. So today we're out here with the Limitless V2. We're gonna do a little test rip, little test pass. Haven't touched it. Same wheels, tires, just brought out the ladder. Because the plan is, I thought I was gonna be able to max out this gearing with just a short run on the road that I normally run on. But I found that I wasn't able to. And having an issue trying to get over this hill, and this is where the RCs like to take flight, I just didn't think I was going to need to go that far. So we're out here with the ladder so I can get a better visual of it. And early morning, and it would help if I start the GPS. So let's get over to the GNS. I normally have this thing powered up because it takes a minute to find these satellites. So it seems like it powered on. Now we're just waiting for the satellites. Here comes a truck. Trucking company is open today. It is Sunday, and I'm trying the afternoon, hoping that it won't be as busy. There's still trucks, there's just no cars. So 9 satellites, we're gonna hit track. It's testing. Start. 12 satellites. That truck's pulling in. Seems to be only one truck every few minutes, so it should give me plenty of time to get this speed run in. It's not going to be no 150-mile-an-hour run, and because there's no shadows at this time of day, should be relatively easy. We are set up. I don't see anybody. Let's go. Wow. I barely tapped full trigger for a second there. It did get a little squirrely because I pulled the last bit of trigger really hard. It did stay on the ground, which is impressive. So let's reconnect. We're gonna hit stop. Read 117. Just like I predicted, 120 mile an hour. I know it's got more in it, so we're gonna let my shaky hands And 120 is not even that fast, but I always get nervous running speed cars. It's the adrenaline rush, and that's what I love about it. You think your body would get used to it, whether it's 100 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour. For me, it just doesn't seem to matter. So no traffic. Car pulling out of a driveway. Car is just drifting right, and I've got steering. Keep cranking the steering. There we go. That's a little better. All right, I'm lined up. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I thought I saw a black car coming out of that driveway. Yep, there it is. Driving pretty slow, that little minivan. Wondering why there's a guy on a ladder standing in the middle of the road. I better call the police. Oh. And now, because he drove so slow, we got a whole slew of traffic. So I've got to get the car out of the middle of the road, which sucks. So I always bring it closer to me so I can see it, because it's set up so far away. Follow this pickup truck down. Yep, he changed lanes. It sucks because I was perfectly lined up pretty far down there. But that's a part of speed running. Okay, I look like I'm set up. And there's a car coming. Wow. We're just gonna do this one at a time today. Sorry it's taken so long, but this is just a part of it. I think this is where a lot of the nerves come from. It's not really the speed or the crash. All right, it looks clear. We're gonna go ahead and try to do this. My steering rate is turned way down. This car loves to pull left for some reason. So that one I was on full trigger a lot longer. This thing's pretty fast for for a Coke can system with the gearing I have in it, especially with that tall spur gear in there. So we're gonna hit stop, read 121. Man, just like I predicted. And this makes the Thunder truck look terrible with this combination in it, just with the gearing and the diffs. So we maxed it out, that pull. I am shaking, as you see. Don't know why, it's just something that happens. I do want to get that steering, whatever that steering issue fixed is. It's probably because I have an airplane servo in there. And I did 121 on these Power Hobbies staggered wheels. Everybody asks me about these wheels and that they're no good for speed runs. But I think a lot of people that are running these things, because I haven't even glued them, and the weather out here is almost 100 degrees. I feel that that they're pulling it's possible that they're pulling the trigger too hard. You can actually, at 150 miles an hour, have a 180 mile an hour setup with your RC. And if you do that and you're spinning while you're doing your speed run because you're pulling that trigger super hard, you can blow the tires off. You can diff out and overspin them. So I'm gonna pop it open so you guys can take a look, so you know that we haven't changed anything. I haven't changed gearing. I've showed this complete build. It is in the playlist. And I hate putting these stickers on because they will literally pull off the graphics I have on this RC. Ooh, wow. Yep, just like that. So I normally don't put graphics on the side because I know I'm gonna have to tape this this body. But we are going to pull data on this because I want you guys to see, wow, compared to the last run, what they'll check at the data, see if we're maxed out on this gearing. So here we go. As you see, 52, 40, fan's not even on. Motor's a little warm, but nothing crazy. It is censored. Not much to say. We're gonna go ahead, unplug this, no warning beeps, so range was perfect. Get my booster unplugged. Get that powered off. I like to lay my radio down. So we're gonna get it back, we're gonna hook it up to some data. Let's take a look and see if we've maxed out this gearing. 121 miles an hour, pretty impressive, and still on Power Hobbies, and haven't had to use the foams yet. All right, so we're back on the bench. We're gonna go ahead and plug in our Castle Link, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some data from that run. See if we maxed out this gearing, and go from there. This is going to let you know how to gear up, how many amps you're pulling, how hard the ESC is working, how hard the motor's working. And yes, I still haven't put a splitter. I got to open the box every time. Need to put a Y adapter into it. All right, so we're going to grab our channel 2. Ground goes to brown. This should switch over to Mamba Monster X. And let me bring you guys down so we can take a look. All right, so when you plug it in, it's going to switch over to Xlx2. Let's try to get some glare off this screen. Let's go over to logging. It's how much of the log. Let's download the log. And we're going to look at our trigger, make sure we got to 100% of our trigger. And I showed you guys in the last video on the DBXLE how to do that. I also showed you when you have a problem, what to look for on your trigger pulls. Even though on the DBXLE 2.0 I was going full trigger, it wasn't. So here's our log. Look at that, power out 100.8%. Throttle 2.036. Now, if you want to know what your controller is, go to advanced, and right here, full forward is 2.030. So as you see in the log, 2.036. Now let's just confirm that this was in my run. I guess we can do this. Here's our run. Get to the peak of our run. There you go. 2.036 at the peak of our run. The motor peaked out over here well before we were at full trigger. The motor actually peaked RPM. So it peaked RPM at, well, no, it's still showing 2.036, so it peaked out right there. Horsepower 9.942. Ripple was only 0.52, as you see, no ripple. That's the way it should be. Current that we were drawing, 284 amps, 279 amps on that run. So all you do is left click and highlight the section that you want, let it go, it should blow up that frame. This was our last run, this was the 120 mile an hour run. And we're looking for red. I think it's red. Shows red. There's an orange too. ESC got to 118.5. So as you see, with the amps that we're pulling out of this, 287.9, we definitely can gear up. When we get closer to 400 amps and our ripple starts to climb, that's when you know you're starting to stress everything too much, and you've got to think about your gearing closer. Right now, we got plenty. You know, we almost 290 amps basically is what we drew out of this, which I feel is really good because the original XLX, I was drawing about 300 amps on my runs at 147 miles an hour. So to see almost 300 with this gearing and that big motor, it's very good. But there you go, guys. Just wanted to show you some of the data to look at. Black throttle. You can see the throttle where it dipped down right after the run into braking right there. But it's nice to see that we got to 100%, so that's letting me know I am maxed out on my gearing. It's not going to go any faster on this gearing, so we'll have to make a change and gear up. But there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching.